Tell me this and tell me that and tell me how's your soul. I was thinking Mr. Atkins when the drums begin to roll. This dude sucks at this. What dude? You need to put a bit of context in. If you're going to take the piss, actually write a sentence instead of just sort of like a random, you know, like random phrase. You're talking to me? This dude sucks at this. Are you talking to me? Are you talking in past tense, pre-tense? Do a good job, but don't do it at all. Suck my balls, mate. That's all I can say. Gavin. Fancy being called Gavin. Hello, Gavin. What, Gav? Don't know how much more direct I could be. No, because what you written is this dude sucks at this. No, what you meant to say is you suck at this, not this dude sucks at this. Who are you talking to? There's only 5 people in the room, mate. Wind your neck in, sort your life out, Chavy. Come on, seriously. I would be way better than quality, man. Show me. I'll follow you. I'm talking to the chat. All 5 of them. Well done. We all laughing at you. No, we're all laughing at you. Come on, man. Use your big boy words. If you're going to speak English, at least speak it properly. You're a nerd. Yes, of course I am. Thank you very much. I'm laughing at you, Gav. Exactly. What a bell. What an absolute bellend. Probably sitting at his mum's house in the spare room. We're all laughing at how gay you are. There's nothing wrong with being gay. What's wrong with being gay? You're saying there's something wrong with being gay? Ain't nothing wrong with being gay, mate. It's not the 1990s anymore. That's not an insult, Chavy. Come on, you can do better than that. Use your big boy words. Look, he admitted it. At the end of the day, there is nothing wrong with being gay. I don't see a problem with it. I'm not an arsehole. You know, obviously you are. He can't whittle, he gay. I'm not whittling, I'm carving, Chavy. He gay. He's gay. Come on, if you're going to take the mic, at least use your big boy words. At least write a sentence. Come on. You're failing miserably at this. At least think of something original. This is like sort of the shit that kids say to each other in the playground. Oh, you're gay. He gay. He can't even whittle. No, you're gay. You can't even whittle. That's what you've got to say. You can't write like that. You can't try and take the piss out of someone when you can't even alliterate. Come on, Chav. Do better. Use your big boy words. Write properly and actually put some effort in. He gay. He can't write. Oh, I caveman. I can't write properly. I can't speak properly. Come on, Chav. Sort your life out, Chavy. Sort it out. Come on. Too early in the morning for all this. I thought all the kids were at school. You know, that's why I come on in the morning. No morons. What a bellend. Gavin. Hello, my name's Kevin. I like to call people gay and I think it's insulting. Yes. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. He suck at this. Yes, he suck at this. Well done. Nerd. Yes. Nerd alert. Come on, mate. Fucking hell. Sort it out, mate. At least speak like a man. You wear camo, you feel... He wet... Fucking hell, I can't even be asked to read this anymore. It's like my 5-year-old writes me a Christmas card. To feel like big boy. Oh, yes, to feel like big boy. Bless you. I'll give you a 10 out of 10 for effort, but I'll give you a 2 for actual execution on it, mate, because you're doing absolutely terrible. Terrible. Your poorly integrated pusillanimous attempts at basic observational mockery shows a lack of intelligence, I must say. Nothing wrong with being a nerd, is there? Yes, I stutter, yes. Yeah, I had a brain injury when I was younger. Got hit with a knuckle duster. It cracked my skull all the way down to here. Stuttering fool. Oh, bless you. At least I can write properly. The trolls are weak nowadays, aren't they? They don't even put any effort in. It's just basic observational mockery. It's just absolutely terrible. Oh, you got beard. Oh, you're wearing camo. Oh. Bless you. So I'll give you a 10 for effort, but you're fucking failing miserably. You're failing at life, mate. You're failing at life, chav. Probably sitting in his fucking 1-bedroom flat. He's so dumb. Are you referring to you there? Because you're not actually putting any context into your writing. He has little baby arms. Yes. Yes, all 6'5" of me with my little baby arms. Look at his little gal. I have got little gal hands. It's weird. I've got size 14 feet, but I have got actually really small hands, which is really weird for someone who's so big. He's so weak. Yes, I am weak. Yeah, you're right on that one. That is actually pretty much on point. He's so gay. Yeah, okay, cool. No, I'm not very strong anymore. I used to be. I was a hod carrier years ago. I used to be able to carry bricks up ladders, but nowadays I'm like a little old lady, to be fair. You're right on that one. 10 out of 10 on that one, but the rest of it, you're just making wild stabs in the dark, which is probably what you should get one day. Don't you know? They get bored in a minute and bugger off. I'll end this stream. We gonna report it. Okay, never mind. Laugh from Swain. Hola, hola. We laugh out loud. Not likely, buddy. Yeah, I know. Bless him. He's obviously woke up wrong side of the bed. We're all gonna report you. Yeah, cool. Looks great, buddy. Cheers, man. I've been working on this one a while actually because I've been a bit ill lately, so I haven't really been doing anything. I normally carve spoons like this. There we go. That's what I normally do. My old stirring spoons, but I've decided to go for something a little bit different. You literally can't carve anything. Nice nice use of the word literally there. Quality. Somebody didn't learn English very well. I only came here to see a wooden spoon, not two. Well, that's insane. Cheers, man. Thank you very much. I don't know whether to put a spiral handle on this one. I might just leave it simple, like, you know, like this little one that I did with the spiral handle. And you're boring now, Gavin. You're boring now. I've had my fun with you. I've made you look like a complete and utter knobhead. Okay, that's it free. Let's bugger Gavin off now. He's boring me. Bye. He gone. There's always one bell end, isn't there? Yeah, total. These spoons are amazing. He's gone. I've booted him off now. I'm bored of him now. Can't even write properly. I mean, fair enough. If you're like dyslexic or something like that, you know, fair enough. I've got nothing to get. I'm terrible at spelling. I know lots of long words, but I don't know how to spell. I'm rubbish at spelling, and my writing's not very good. You know, but if you're trying to take the piss out of someone, it's probably not best to if you can't string a sentence together. You know, because at the end of the day, it's you know, it's just a bit stupid, really. He's got nothing better to do. He's probably sitting in his mum's spare room having a little cry about his life, so he's decided to come and try and pick on me. Go the straight handle, balls in the what does that go with? A straight handle, light balls in between, straight ones maybe. Yeah, maybe. That's not a bad shout. I think I'm just going to leave this one plain, and I'm going to do another one. I've got a load of ash sitting in my shed, ash and oak. So I've got an idea for my next one. I want to make it a bit more. It's a bit sort of too straight for me. I want something a bit more curvy. But I don't normally carve spoons like this. I normally do like all these sort of ones with the twirly handles on. They're quite straight. You know, they're quite easy to make. Like these ones. Got quite a few actually. I did that one. I burnt it. I weren't too sure about burning it, but I don't think it looks too bad. It brings out the grain. Ash is definitely a great. It is. I like ash. I've made a lot of things out of ash. If I'm making like spoons and tool handles and stuff like that, I use ash. I did carve a cookser out of sycamore actually, sported sycamore, like a little wooden drinking cup, which is quite cool. Whittling, that's good, mate. Thank you very much. It is appreciated. Got a little wooden cookser. It's got all the black lines where a fungus was going through. You could probably put a good handle. Oh, I've done a few axe handles actually. I've got one in the shed. I can't. It's too cold out there at the moment. I made one the other day for an old Kent pattern, antique Kent pattern axe head. Couldn't quite see the date on it, but it's early 1900s. You know, it's quite an old one. Really good quality steel on it. Yeah, it's a walking stick I made with a barley twist, you know, so it looks like the wood's been twisted. Made a little walking stick. I'm halfway through making a crossbow, but I really need to get the motivation to finish it. And I've got loads of things on the go at the moment. I'm making arrows as well, which is a bit of a task. I just need to get the feathers basically for the fletching, but I'll do stuff like that as well. The old wood spirits. That's an old Christmas tree, that was. An old Nordic pine, I think it was, something like that. What's that? Oh, it's a piece of rotten pine that I use for starting fires. Don't get a lot of pine round here, but we do get a lot of ash and oak. There's another little spoon that I made. I burnt that one a bit too much, but it's all a learning curve at the end of the day. You learn. Making I made a longbow a couple of years ago, and I haven't got any arrow. I've never shot it, so I've decided to start making arrows. So I've got some hazel coppice, and I straightened it out, fire hardened it and straightened it because it was a bit wiggly. I've made the flint arrowhead to go into the top of it. I've got my pine resin to make pine pitch to stick the arrowhead in. All I need now is some feathers, but there's not many geese about at the moment, which is annoying, and it's hard finding the feathers, but you can order them online, so I might have to hit that like, all right, Sticks man, how's it going? How are you doing, man? Just had a right old fucking doozy in here a minute ago trying to take the piss out of me, bless him. All right, mate, how you doing? How you doing? He was like, oh, you're gay. I was like, there's nothing wrong with being gay, mate. There's nothing wrong with it at all, you know what I mean? How is that an insult? Like, I've got loads of gay mates, you know, like, what are you going on about? Don't sit there and go, oh, you're gay. what's going on? Oh, he missed it, yeah, man. He was a right Swede, bless him. He couldn't even spell properly. He couldn't even string a sentence together, and he was trying to take the piss out of me. I was like, mate, at least learn how to write if you're gonna try and take the piss out of someone. I'll give him a 10 for effort, but a 2 for execution. I don't want to make this too thin because when I sand it, just got to get that little. There's a little bit there that just needs taking off. Got myself a little mini drone. I'm going to take it up the woods on Thursday or Friday, whenever my mate's kind of going to take me. So hopefully get some good aerial views of the woods that I'll go to. Camera on it's not brilliant, but it'll do. It'll do. So hopefully I can. I'll probably crash it into a tree. I'm shit with things like that. I'm rubbish at computer games and things. I'm terrible. I'm better at doing stuff like this. I've been a bit ill the last few days as well, so I haven't really done anything. So it's nice to actually feel a bit better. Because my heart's knackered, it's hard to. Nice, I'll be a couple of videos and drives. Yeah, exactly, man. Just don't fly in the wind. No, yeah, I've been thinking about that, and it does get quite windy around here. Because we're right on the coast as well. It's you don't get like gusts of wind. It's just constant wind. There's no subsidence to it. It's actually really, really still out there at the moment, so I might take it out in the garden and zip it up in the air and see how it goes. But I'll probably be better off letting my son fly it, because he's. Have I got a bogey there? Oh no, it's just my grey hairs reflecting. My few little grey hairs that I've got coming out of my beard. This is the heartwood out of an ash tree. It's very, very, very tough, but it's got some beautiful colour in it, and the grain looks good as well. It needs a good sand up. I just need to thin the handle out a bit so it's a bit more elegant. Oh, I cleared the nozzle out in my old propane paraffin blow lamp. I've nearly got it all shiny again, and I managed to get the nozzle out, and I soaked the tiny little nozzle in there, and I soaked it in vinegar, and yeah, it cleared it out. It was spitting like that when I pumped it up. So yeah, she's getting there. I've been using that pink stuff to clean it with. You know, the pink stuff that you get in the little tub. Oh, there's me sitting there scrubbing the life out of it, and I went upstairs and I was using the toilet, and I looked up and I was like, oh, there's a bloody tub of pink stuff there. That'll clean up the brass on it really, really well. So yeah, she's looking good. My granddad years ago, he had pink stuff. Yeah, yeah, it's actually really, really good. But it's creating pressure now. Ah! It's, listen down, there's a man for lamps. Yeah, nice, nice. This is a blowtorch. This is a it's what the old plumbers would have used before the gas bottles. It's actually got a thing that fits over the top there that directs the flame. Obviously, these things here get the propane in it, paraffin in it, and it superheats it like a steam engine would work. Hi mate, I saw since you're in the UK. So that's what's popped up. Have any more? No, we haven't been up to the woods. I'm not sure what it was, man. It was just really freaky because, you know, you're sitting there. Everyone was like, "Oh, it could have been poachers and stuff." I was like, "Poachers don't make noise when they're in the woods, you know." So me and my mate, I've got the live video somewhere. We were sitting there, just having a drink and all that, and you know, not getting drunk, just having a couple of ciders, and we kept hearing like big footsteps in the bushes. And I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And Sam was like, you know, and his dog, who literally runs up to everyone, no matter who it is, sat on the floor with her tail between her legs, shaking. And we're like, okay, this is a bit worrying, you know, like what's going on? And then I sort of got my torch out and I started walking towards the bushes and having a look. I couldn't see anything. And then we're sitting there, and suddenly heard this, but it wasn't. You know, like when a pigeon flies and it claps, it weren't like that. It wasn't like a tree breaking. It was like a clap, like something was trying to scare us. You know, I'm 6'5". My mate's 6'3". He's a big geezer as well, you know. And we're sitting there panicking, you know, like this is a bit fucking weird and all that. And then we kept hearing like bushes moving and stuff. And you know, I was sort of having a walk around, having a look about, couldn't see anything. And my mate was like, he goes, "Look, if you want to bail out, we just go." And I was like, "Well, we've got three options, haven't we?" I said, "We can either sit out here by the fire, you know, letting our minds play with us, or we can we can just go to sleep, or we can go home." He's like, "Well, what do you want to do?" I said, "Oh, fuck it, let's just go to sleep." So I went to sleep, and about 3 in the morning, I woke up, and I just kept hearing, and then another clap over there, and another clap over there, and I'm like, "What is going on, man? What is you know, just freaking out basically, as you do." And the dog wasn't too happy about it, so I put my axe next to me and went back to sleep. Hello, how's it going? Went back to sleep and woke up in the morning, couldn't see anything, but it was definitely someone there, you know, like something really sort of menacing, because the dog just wasn't happy. And I know there's been reports around that area as well of people seeing things and whatnot. And I've got a picture of someone walking across the top of a hill, which is in the same area. And I didn't think anything of it. I just took a couple of pictures because I was taking pictures of the scenery. And when I got back, I was like, he's massive. You know, he's not like a normal sized man. That is a big figure walking across the top of that hill. I've got the picture somewhere, and I was looking, and I was just like looking at the pictures, and I was looking at the trees, and I was thinking, well, they're well established. That's a well established pine forest, and this geezer's, you know, he's got to be about fucking 8 foot tall, big boy, and he was like lurking, leaning, walking forwards like that, you know, just massive. It looked like he had a backpack on his front. It was just weird, man. And I've got another picture of something sitting in a tree, which was on my mate's land. There's something just, it's hard to explain what it is. And then I was asleep in a hammock up there, and something come running through the bushes, and it weren't a deer. It was fucking massive. It was high, it was tall, because I heard the trees above me shaking, and it come running past me, stopped, ran back towards me, and then ran off again, like I was being charged by something. And I was just like, pfft. And I've spent my life in the forest. I've since like 16 years old. I've been out camping, you know, I've been out on my own, I've been out with mates, I've been all over the place, and I've never had anything like that. You know, it wasn't a deer, it wasn't a boar, it wasn't, you know, it was just weird, man. Oh, Lisa Darth. One night, so well, yeah, it could be. I mean, if there's a place I go and I went camping up there and I saw a figure walking. It was just as it was getting dark, and I saw this big figure walking through the trees, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" Yeah, like, what am I smoking, sort of thing, you know. And I got sort of rubbed my eyes, and I got out of my hammock and looked, and there's a man standing there, and I'm like, "All right," and he's like, "Yeah, you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you going for a walk, are you?" You know, like, what are you up to? And he's like, "Oh, I live here." And I was like, "What, in the woods?" And he goes, "Yeah, I live in the woods." And I was like, "I think I've met you. I think I've met him before. I was up here cooking some sausages once, and you turned up." And he's like, "Yeah, that's the one." And I was like, "You know, we had a good chat and all that, and I offered you some food, and you said you're all right." Now this bloke, he lives in the woods. His name's Tom, and he's lived there for 12 years, literally in like a little tent setup thing that he's got. And his wife passed away, and when she passed away, he just decided to go camping, and he never come back. And he literally lives in this forest, and the landowner actually quite likes him there because he tidies up, he cleans up things, he chops the trees down in the paths and stuff like that, and he doesn't cause anyone harm and all that. And there's a stables nearby, and they let him use the shower and stuff like that, and he goes and, you know, washes every day and all that. And he's got a job, he works on a farm and all that, but the bugger ain't got no rent, and he just literally lives in the woods. And he is a quality bloke to talk to, like the ultimate bushcrafter. And old Tom, his name, isn't he? That was quality. That was. I like talking to Tom. I've met him a few times now, and I've brought him down a few cans of bitter. You know, like to drink. He likes a can of bitter, so I brought him some bitter and stuff like that. And you wouldn't be able to find his camp unless you knew where it was. It is so well hidden, because this forest has got an old it's an old lime pit, basically, where they used to mine chalk to burn into lime, and it's got loads of old lime kilns everywhere. And he's camped out in this. It looks like a crater, and it's behind the lime kiln, and he's got a quality little camp. But the bloke's an absolute legend. He's quality. I always say to my mate, like, "Let's go and see Tom." I'll see him the other day in Sainsbury's, actually. I'm walking around getting some shopping. I was like, "Hi, Tom." It's Tom the Woodsman. But yeah, I've had some strange experiences in the woods. But you know, no actual like evidence of anything, so I'm very skeptical. But I've had a few people say that, you know, what could it be? And I say I've had a stoat square up to me in the middle of the night. That was well funny. Couldn't get it on camera though because it was really dark. And I was like, there's a little stoat down there. It keeps charging at me and then running back again. You know, they do that dance, don't they, like ferrets do? And I was trying to get a video of him, but all I could see was leaves moving on the camera. It was a bit annoying, but yeah, I've never. It felt weird. I've never been uncomfortable in the woods. For me, the woods is a very relaxing place where I feel at home. I don't get any anxiety. I just feel, you know, really nice, really chilled out and at home. You know, the ground's my carpet and the sky's my ceiling when I'm in the woods. I've heard growls on a camp once. What sort? You know, like growls. Yeah, there's some unexplained things, you know, that you can't explain. There probably is a rational explanation for it, but at the end of the day, the human mind creates stories for what it can't. Oh, gurgling growls. Oh, okay. Yeah, that doesn't sound like anything in the repertoire of animals that you get in the UK. Hello from Italy. Hello, how's it going? Stayed awake till 3 AM watching the body. Yeah, man, I'll do that. I'll watch stuff. Sounds like Tom's living a good life. He is, mate. He's a really nice bloke. He works on the local farm. I said to my mate, he must be rolling in it. You know, getting paid a farm labourer's wage, and then he ain't got any rent or any bills or anything like that. But the actual land's owned by a lord, and he really don't. He quite likes Tom. He thinks he's good as gold there. And all the people who live in the cottages around the surrounding area like him. He goes and walks their dogs for them and stuff like that. He's just a generally nice bloke. And he said to us, he goes, I like the bushcrafting people that come down here. He goes, you know, the ones that have hammocks and stuff like that. You think it was a deer? Could have been a deer. But when you're out there on your own, it's just the mind plays tricks on you, doesn't it? Yeah, he said, I don't mind the bushcraft lads who come down here in their hammocks and stuff, because you don't leave any mess, and you always clean up after yourselves, and you know there's no there's no rubbish laying around and stuff like that. I start the car, some utensils. No, I don't use anything fancy. This is a little Opinel number 6 little lock knife. And to carve the actual spoon out, I've used a crook knife. This is a Mora spoon carving crook knife. You can get all different ones, all different shapes and sizes. The ones that the farriers use are quite good because they're quite cheap. You can make these out of old spanners. As long as the steel's good, you can file down the inside of a spanner, the ring bit on the spanner, and use that as a crook knife. If I'm doing anything a bit more detailed in hardwood, I'll use a carpentry gouge. But just to start off with, just one of those. You can carve stuff like that with it. You know, just make sure it's really sharp. Otherwise, you end up having an accident. I mean, I've got a box here with all different size gouges, all different shape gouges, V gouges, and all that sort of thing. And when it comes down to the crunch, when I'm carving spoons, these are the two I use. And when I'm carving like faces and stuff, I use a little U gouge. I've got a smaller one as well. The rest of it's just been sitting in a box. What did I swap for that? Oh, it was a an old. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it on here. Might get a violation or whatever. I know you do on TikTok if you talk about it. Yeah, it was an old pump, I think, old pump action. And I swapped it for a whole set of like really, really old, really decent gouges, which I was pretty happy with. I swapped loads of things. I swapped a rifle scope for. What did I swap the rifle scope for? Can't remember now. But I've also got a mate who goes to a lot of antique fairs and stuff like that, and he picked me up a set of boat builders gouges, and they're all, you know, like the big massive chisels, the really big, you know, the decent ones. And he got me a set of those, so when I'm like doing stuff up the woods, you know, if we're going to build like a doorway or something like that to a shelter or whatever, I can make a mortise and tenon joint. Well, my version of one anyway. I'm pretty crap at actual like precision carpentry, but yeah, it's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. Thanks, nice job. Yeah, just like look, if you want to get like tools and stuff like that, Mora are good. Mora make decent knives that you can pick one up fairly cheap. I think the cheapest Mora knife's about £8, and it's cold steel. My mate bought one. It's got a rubber handle on it, but I don't like rubber handles. But it's it holds a really good edge, and it's really, really decent. I've got loads of things that I keep starting stuff and not finishing it. I need to finish my crossbow. There's the actual bow for my crossbow. It's going to be like a flat bow basically. And then after I've done that, I need to finish my arrows for my longbow. And then I want to make a staff sling, and then I want to make a slingshot gun, because I'm pretty rubbish. Well, I'm not rubbish at it. I got a slingshot. I was practicing. I was getting all right with it. You know, I could hit like a dinner plate size thing. And I got one of those steel balls and flicked it across the top of my knuckle. I felt like eating my hat. It hurt so much. So it sort of put me off a bit. And I was like, maybe I should just make like a slingshot gun or something like that. And I want to make a sling staff as well. You know, the old staffs with it's like a human-powered trebuchet. I want to make one of those at some point and do some ballistic tests. Wonder if I can get an animal skull to shoot at, which I think would be pretty cool. Make a good video. Problem is, I need to put more effort into my videos. I'm terrible at editing, so if anyone knows a good editor that you can download on your phone, let me know, because my editing skills are minimal when it comes to doing stuff like that. I'm pretty terrible. I just sandwich loads of clips together and they don't really work very well. And I have a habit of not filming things I'm doing, because like I'll be having too much fun, so I don't get my camera out. You know, like making that arrow. I should have done a video on making an arrow, you know, cutting the coppice, fire hardening it, straightening it, and then making the flint tip to go in the top of it. I should have filmed that, but I'll just get like a bee in my bonnet and just start working, and then I'll think to myself, oh, I should have got my camera out really, but I'm terrible for it. But I need some fletching for that. And I've got the pine pitch to make the pine resin, sorry, to make the pine pitch. Told my kids that I've been collecting my bogies for 3 months. They thought it was terrible, like, oh! But there's the pine resin. As you can see, it does look like don't smell like bogies. That smells bloody amazing. I had a ball of it about that big, but there's a woman I know who runs a bushcraft school, and she said that she can't find any pine resin where she is, and I was like, oh, I'll get you some. I'll send it to you in the post. And she was like, oh, I'll pay you for it. And I was like, pay me for what? Something that I found in the woods. You know what I mean? You know, if I'd made something, you asked me to make you something, and I made something, yeah, fair enough. But I've just wandered through the woods and scraped it off of a tree. I'm there anyway, you know. And I had this big old ball, and I sent her some pine resin, and I sent her a spoon as well as a cheeky little gift. In with the pine resin, and she was well happy with it. But she was like, it's really hard to get around here. I've gone off on a tangent. But yeah, I've got my pine resin, and I need to have a fire, mix it with some ash. I got myself a cool little burner the other day actually, and I don't normally buy stuff because I'm a bit of a peasant, but I was pretty happy with it. I want it for the summer when I'm camping, because I don't like the idea of having a big fire and setting fire to the woods and stuff like that. And I don't need a huge fire in the summer to keep myself warm. I just need something to look at and something to cook on. So I got myself one of these, one of these tiny little smokeless fire pits. And it's, you know, it's like a gasifier. The air goes in there, comes out the top, and it's got little legs on it as well, look. But I was well happy with it actually. I was like, it cost me £4.99, so I was just like, I think I'll have one of those. It's just a little oh, get an ash all over the floor. Oh well. But yeah, can't really argue with that, can you? For a £5, and it's got all the gubbins in it and all that. A little false bottom so the airflow gets through it. And it doesn't really smoke. He says as he can't get there. There we go. But yeah, I don't know if that bit's meant to go on like that or like that. Either way it works. So I was pretty happy with that. Can't really argue with that. And if I want to have a little fire in the garden that stops the neighbours from moaning about the smoke. Not that well, when I have a fire, the smokes to start off with, but I've got quite a lot of dry, scrap pieces of wood that aren't really good for anything. So it don't really smoke anyway, does it, when you've got a nice dry bit of wood on the fire? But yeah, I got that. I was pretty happy with that. And I've got my Kelly kettle, and I've got all the bits to go with it. And there's a little thing that fits on top of the Kelly kettle so you can cook food, and it fits perfectly on top of that, so I can use that on top of that and put a little kettle on there or a frying pan or something, cook myself some bacon. I might take it up the woods with me on Thursday. Well, so he said either Thursday or Friday depending on the weather, so maybe go somewhere different. Morning, Yarps, how's it going, man? But we'll see what forest he wants to go to. Get my little, oh, really bad indigestion. Get my little drone out and have a little fly about, see if I can get some aerial footage. Might go up to where the castle is, and if he's up for it, obviously. It's not up to me, I don't drive, so it's all down to the man with the car. But yeah, that little burner for £4.49 or 99 or whatever it is, I can't remember now, but it was under a £5. It was pretty good. Oh dear, I've gone a bit too deep there. Use a sharp knife, they say. Oh, that's alright. All good, thanks. 10 minutes free, saw you on. Oh, awesome, man, awesome. Hope you're well. I'm waiting for the weather to warm up so I can go out camping. It's a bit too cold for me at the moment. Cold air gets on my chest, you know. And don't need to be even more ill than I already am. I don't need to make myself worse. Which is annoying because back in the day, interesting shapes window. Oh, cheers, man. Yeah, I thought I'm going for something sort of a bit basic compared to like my normal spoons are like that, aren't they? You know, with the spiral carve, like the cooking spoons and whatnot. But I've been delving into this one was meant to look like this, but I got a bit happy with the axe when I was carving it to start off with, because obviously you start off with an axe and trim it up and all that, and but yeah, it'll do for now anyway. That's a good thing about carving, you know what I mean? If you do something and you're not happy with it, you remember, and then you make something better the next time, and you just keep progressing and progressing. Luckily enough, I do actually take note of what I've done wrong and remember for the next time. It's getting there. It's nearly finished. You're a gifted spoon carver. Cheers, man. Thanks very much. I do carve other things. Well, it is pretty much the same skill as a spoon, but I made a Cooksa wooden drinking cup out of sycamore, and this is spalted sycamore. You got the bits where the fungus was growing through the tree. So it's got all that black stuff. Oh, my throat's dry. I'm on a lot of medication and it crunches my throat up when I'm talking too much. A beautiful wood grain, yeah. It's good because the sycamore's normally quite plain, but that is literally where a fungus was growing through the tree as it died, or where it was left on the forest floor. I mean, half of the log was rotten, but there was a good piece of wood in there, so I made this. It's actually really light and really strong as well, which is good. I was a bit worried as I was carving through it there'd be a big rotten bit in the middle or on the side and I'd just have to abandon it, but yeah, I've seen many of your videos, various carvings, very interesting stuff. So rarely catch your lives, unfortunately. I haven't been live really properly for a while, really, because I've been a bit ill, because I've got a bad heart. As soon as I get a cold or something like that, and it mullers me, and I get really tired. Like now, my eyes are starting to go because I've just taken handfuls of heart failure medication, and they make me feel really crap, to be honest with you. But it's just one of those things. I'll just get used to. So if you see me at one of those weekend camps, you'll probably see me totter off back to my tent at about 11 o'clock and fall asleep for a couple of hours. I'll be like, go lay down. I'll be back in a bit. Once I've had a decent lay down and shut my eyes, I'll get very tired. But the grain in this is beautiful. This is heartwood of an ash tree, and it's got that bit of softwood running through there. It's really cool. I've got basically half a tree. One come down in my mate's woods, this big ash, and my mate was there with his chainsaw, and I was like, well, I want a bit this big, I want a bit that big, or one like that, and he's chopping away with his chainsaw, and then I split off a big chunk like that, and I'm making a chopping board out of it, but I'm letting that dry out a bit. Over mixed camps, I'd love a lesson. I will be in the summer when he does the summer one. I'll definitely be up there. I'll bring my mate with me. My other mate, he goes camping a lot. He ain't interested in YouTube. He don't do YouTube, but he does go camping. He's like my camping mate that I go camping with, and he drives. You see, I don't. So we're but from what I can work out, he's on this side of Hampshire, so it's probably only going to be about an hour and a half drive for us anyway. So it won't be too long. But yeah, I'll definitely make it up for the summer one, even if I do one night, you know. But it'll be good, and I'll bring all my carving stuff. Oh, from Farnham. Okay, yeah, awesome. Yeah, not too bad then. Not too bad. Yeah, I'll bring all my carving stuff with me. All my knives and my chisels and all that sort of, my gouges and things. And I'll teach everyone how to make one of these. Pretty easy. Once you've made one, you know, like you can make another one. And that spiral handle, once you've done that, it's really easy. It's not a hard thing to do. You just got to be a bit precise with your cuts. But and have a mega sharp knife. But other than that, it's you know, if I can do it, anyone can. Now there's a particular reason I've used heartwood for this, so it's nice and strong. If I used sapwood on this would have snapped by now, but it's got a lot of strength to it. I need to get to my mate's house. I've got a big lump of apple seasoning in his big brick built shed, and it's been in there for about 1.5 years, so it should be really good for carving now. An apple, cherry, plum, anything like that, any fruit tree makes a really nice spoon. I've got some cherry in the shed, but it's very knotty, so I might have to borrow my mate's steel wedges to split that one in half, because I don't think I'm going to get through it with what I've got. And he's got the big massive metal steel forestry wedges, you know, like the ones you could use for splitting stones up with. They're really good. We split a whole ash tree down the centre with them. Really decent. He's like, do you want to see if we can split a tree straight down the middle? I was like, yeah, let's go for it, man. We've got to go, so good life. Let's breathe. Yeah, you too, bud. Enjoy yourself, man. Have a good one. I'll speak to you soon. So what have we got going on here then? Yeah, I'm in the UK, man. South coast of England. The time now is 10:14 AM. It's 10:15 in the morning, as we say over here. I do prefer going live in the morning. Sometimes I go live at night about 8 o'clock. It all depends on how I'm feeling. If I'm feeling rough, I won't go live, but problem with this, there's a knot in here. Well, the startings of a knot. So no matter how much I carve it, it's still going to have a wobble in it, but that don't really bother me too much. It gives it character. thought this was splitting, but it's not. It's where I previously tried cracking it with an axe when it was a log. See that just there, that's where the knot is. I could bring it down to there. No, I'm just going to leave it. It gives it character. So when I was talking to my mate, he carves faces. He's really, really good. He does all sorts of things. His name's Kerry Pearce. He's known as the Wood Wizard. He's on here. And some of the things he carves are just absolutely brilliant. And he was saying to me, he goes, when you're carving a face, don't worry about it being perfect. Nobody's face is perfect. The more quirky, you know, you've got some quirky bits in it, it actually makes it look more realistic. So I stopped worrying too much about things being perfect. And I thought to myself, just go for it. I don't know whether to bring that out flatter, it's got to be done. It's Tommy this and Tommy that and Tommy how's your soul? But it's a thin red line of heroes when the drums begin to roll. When the drums begin to roll, me boys, when the drums begin to roll. There's a thin red line of heroes when the drums begin to roll. We ain't no thin red heroes, we ain't no blackguards too. Just humble folk in uniform, remarkable like you. And if all our conduct in any of your fancy paints, but single men in barracks don't grow into plaster saints. Let's Tommy this and Tommy that and Tommy how's your soul? I went to a public house to get a pint of beer. The publican he upped and said, we serve no redcoats here. Come on, you bugger. There's always just that little bit more to take off. Got to make it look good. Oh, I've already read that one. Already read that one. Might be up for a bit of sanding. I've got loads of pine resin wedged in my knife, so it's actually quite hard to take the lock off of it now. There we go. Eventually it'll wear down. Actually, don't want to put that away too blunt. And the problem is when you're carving heartwood, it bluntens up your knife. Needs a little bit of a sharpen. Just a wee bit. Once you've got a sharp knife, don't take it to a stone and ruin it. Get yourself a little bit of leather and strop it. Just put the edge back on. Well, that's a tip from me anyway. Everyone probably already knows that. does make the difference. And if you are using a stone, use a strop afterwards. It gets rid of all the scratches on the blade, so you get a nice smooth looking blade. I don't actually know if the scratches make a difference when you're carving, but it just looks nicer. I found an old knife in my fishing box the other day. I need to fix up actually. Make a new wooden handle for it. My old fishing knife. It's got a really good steel blade on it, so I don't want to get rid of it. It's decent enough. That's a bit better, just a little bit. I'll give it a few more flicks on the old stroppy strop. Put the lock back on. Stick it high up in the cupboard because I've got 4 children and I don't want them getting hold of my knives. The little terrorists that they are. Now what I'm doing is getting the crook knife. I'm just going to smooth out the inside of this before I sand it, save myself a lot of sanding. So instead of carving, I'm doing more of a scrape, just getting some, getting all the rough bits out. Could really do with a shave horse for stuff like this. But if I make a shave horse, it's just going to sit out and go, oh, I need to sort my shed out. My mate's got a little lathe for me. He said, I'm cleaning out my garage, and he goes, I've got an old lathe if you want it. And I was like, yeah. No, but I've just got to clean my shed out and make sure I've got room on my bench for it. Because I don't actually do anything in my shed anymore except for just stash vast quantities of logs and things in there. So I need to reorganise it, get an extension lead out there, get the old lathe going, and I can make some bowls. I mean, I've made some really cool looking bowls, but it's a very long process by hand. See, that's a bit thick on that side. Just feeling around to make sure. The whole idea is, obviously, when you're making a spoon, is to get it the same thickness all the way around. I know a lot of people use like micrometers and stuff like that, but all my stuff's done by eye, and I feel it with my hands. It's just got to be just right. That's a spoon I use as a template. But I need to make a few more of these. They're really quick and easy to make. And they're good spoons because I'm going to start selling stuff soon. I just need to organise myself a bit better. I've got a bloke who's got a Bushcraft website. He said I can sell them on there, and he just add a bit of extra wedge on top, which I think is quite good. Really nice of him. But just make a few of these ones for bushcrafters and stuff like that. Churn them out. They don't take me too long to make. About an hour and a half to make one of those. About double the time to make one of these though with the spiral, because it's not the carving of the spiral, it's all the sanding that's involved with it, just to get it so there's no rough bits in there, you know, just get it just right. But might make some honey drizzlers. My mate said he wanted one, so might make some honey drizzlers, but with that, instead of the standard rings, I have that on it, the spiral. I've got loads to do, but I've been ill the last 3 days, so I haven't done anything. I should have had this spoon finished, but it's just getting there. I want to make a ladle as well, but I need to cut a specific piece of wood to make a ladle, and it's got to be a piece of ash or hazel, a big log like that with a branch coming out of it like that, and you cut here and here, so you've got the lumpy bit there, and basically that's like the bowl of your ladle, with the branch is going to be the handle. But I've got well, my mate owns a forest, so I'll probably be spending a good hour just walking around looking at the trees trying to find this perfect piece of wood to cut to make a ladle, and then I've got to leave it in the shed for like a year for it to dry out, and then it'd be good as gold. But which bushcraft knife would you have if price wasn't an issue? What's my great? That's a hard question, really. I'm not really fussy with with knives. I'm not one of these people who's all into like name brand things and all that sort of stuff. I use what works. So a good bushcraft knife for me would be a full tang, decent carbon steel blade with a Scandi grind on it. that would be my perfect knife. I'm not fussy who made it. I'm not fussy how much it costs, where it come from. As long as it's a good bit of steel with a nice wooden handle on it. I quite like a blank actually, so I can make my own handle. I think I can make a fairly decent handle for a knife. But yeah, anything that's just a nice, decent cold steel blade, really. To be honest with you, as I say, I'm not really fussy when it comes to knives. If it works, it works, and it's good enough for me. Really, that's my thing. You won't see me saying, "Oh, this is a so and so, and it's it costs this much money and all that sort of stuff." It doesn't really bother me. As I say, it works. I mean, this is my favourite gouge. I can't even see the name on it. I know it's Sheffield steel, but it's very, very old, this gouge, and it's absolutely amazing. Maybe a nice antique knife made by a blacksmith. Maybe something like that, something really old and that's been used a lot and that just holds a perfect edge. Something that's got some character to it. Yeah, and a nice antique knife. The only thing I achieved at school was a star from oak handle holder, made in the lathe, top of the class that day. Got kicked out after that. Savage, man. I didn't do too well at school. I'm not very academic. I'm good with history. I'm good with like remembering like historical stuff and all that, but I'm no good at maths. I'm literally like I'm like a stupid 9-year-old when it comes to maths. I'm so bad at maths. It's calculated jobby all the way for me. Science, I'm not bad at biology. I'm good at biology, but not very good at physics and chemistry, to be fair. But what I did do well at is when I left school when I was 16, I went to an agricultural college and I did countryside management, habitat establishment and maintenance. I did arboriculture, I did lowland game management, animal and plant biology, and just all sorts of different sort of things to do with the countryside. And I did really, really well at that. How many acres did your friend looking at getting some late this year? Currently live in Thailand, but missing the UK outdoors too. Land's gone up quite a lot recently. My mate's overall he's got about 10.5 acres. But my mate, I think it worked out 15 grand an acre where his wood is, and now it's gone up to about 25-30 grand an acre. So it's rocketing. It all depends. You can go up north and you can get yourself like a 3 or 4 acre copse for about 40-50 grand, but down here it's really expensive around here. I mean, I live in a 2-bedroom house and my rent's £1,300 a month. It's an expensive place to live around here, and everything's expensive. Land's expensive. I mean, there's a 3-bedroom house for sale down the road and it's 750,000, but that's because of where it is, and it's a really nice area, but it's so expensive. You just have to have a look. If you go on Google, I think it's called woodlands.com or woodlands for sale or something like that. If you check that out, keep an eye on that. Something will pop up that you like and will be in your price range. My mate was really lucky because there's no public access to his woods, so it's a proper private, nice little forest. He's got one near me, and he's got another one in Somerset and the Mendip National Park, just round the corner from Cheddar Gorge, and that's a beautiful one, that is. But it all just depends on what you want, how much you got to spend and stuff like that. It can get quite expensive. I mean, there was near me, there was 3 acres for sale for 120 grand. So, but that's because of where it is. It's just, it's one of those things. You need to really have a look around. But my mate's forest, one of them, is an ancient forest, ancient woodland, and it's all oak and ash and hazel, holly, a couple of silver birch, not many. It's got a massive beech tree in it, but only one beech tree, which I was quite shocked at, which is nice actually. It's got loads of hawthorn and blackthorn, and we've built a big boundary. We built like a big living hedge around it, like a big living fence. We started off by coppicing a section of the woodland, cutting down the coppice and using the coppice as stakes and binders, and then basically as the trees have grown up in between the stakes and the binders, you cut halfway or 3/4 of the way through the tree and you lay it down, and then all those nodes on the ends grow up into more trees basically. So the actual main tree's there, and you've got all these trees growing up from it, and then what you do is give it a couple of years and then you cut them again and lay those down, and eventually it just turns into like a big living wall. And that's what we've been doing up there. And we've built a really biodiverse boundary around his woods. We've only done about 200 meters of it, but it's getting there. It's one of those jobs you can't do it all the time, because if you want to do the whole forest, you'd have to cut down all the coppice and then wait 5 years for it all to grow back again, for it to be, look like a proper woodland again. It'd just be quite bare in there. So it all depends, man. I was reading today about the laws of living in your own woodland. Basically, you can only stay 28 days away. Yeah, but there's ways around it, you see. What you want to do is get into charcoal burning or something like that, something where you have to be there at night. So what you do is get yourself an ancient forest with a lot of deadfall, a lot of trees on the ground, and slowly start making your way through, turning it all into charcoal. Obviously you'd have to buy the charcoal kiln, which you can get a welder to make you, or whatever. You can get a small one or a big one, and you start making charcoal. So you have to be there at night. And then what you do is you build yourself a nice shed for your forestry tools, but you can also have a bunk bed in it or something like that. But technically it's a shed for your tools for you to work in, so you can stay in the shed, and you can start to sort of like live there but not live there, if that makes sense. So there are ways around it. You can live there, as long as it's not like a big permanent structure, like you're building a house or something like that. You can get away with it. A lot of the problem is people walking past and stitching you up, and if you've got a nice private woodland where not many people walk past, there's no one to say anything to report you. So it all depends. And you can do things as well, like you can get a forest and then you can make a forestry plan for it. So you say, I'm going to cut down all the trees that die back, I'm going to do this, I'm going to hedge lay, I'm going to coppice and all that sort of stuff, and you can get a government grant for doing it, and then you can start paying yourself for being in your own forest. So you can get like 12 grand a year for doing all this work and stuff in your forest, and do it yourself and pay yourself that 12 grand a year. Get yourself a chainsaw and a chainsaw license and all that sort of thing. There are ways around it, man. You can get around it. I mean, I know an old boy who literally finds landowners with massive forests and says to them, can I manage your forest? And they're like, well, yeah, but I can't afford to pay you. And he's like, you don't have to pay me. I'll just go and do it. I'll just do it on my own. I'll do it on my own, off my own back. And they're like, you sure? And he's like, yeah. So he goes in, burns a load of charcoal, makes the money off the charcoal, gets a government grant from a forestry plan, and then he basically does what I just said. He basically lives on the land, gets himself loads of free wood for charcoal, pays himself a wage for clearing up the forest and making it, not a nice biodiverse place. And there are ways around it, but you got to look into it. You got to know what you're doing and stuff like that. But there are ways around it. You can get away with staying up in your woods. Yeah, it needs to be completely private and outside. That's it. But then you always got the chance of the Forestry Commission turning up, and it don't matter if it's private land or not. They'll turn up to check your trees and stuff like that. How did you grow that thick beard, dude? I just didn't shave. It needs a comb actually. It's all over the place. But yeah, I just didn't shave. That's what I did. Just not shave ever. I've always had some sort of a beard, but really just the last few years I thought, sod it, I'm just gonna let it go. Just let it go. Yeah, it doesn't have to be completely private if you're using it for forestry and stuff like that. Give us some practical, easy as a graphic beard. Don't shave. That's it. I naturally grow a thick beard. I just don't shave. I don't do anything to it. Every other day when I have my shower, because I don't shampoo it every day because it fucks up the hair, but every other day when I have a shower, I'll shampoo it every other shower that I have. I've got some beard shampoo, I'll put a bit of that in, and I'll put some beard moisturising cream in it like that, and then that's it. I'll just leave it. I've set fire to bits of it and stuff, and I've been making fires and all sorts of things, but that is literally it. Make sure you brush it in the mornings, which I don't really do too much, but and that's what I do to my beard, which is bugger all really. I think trimming it helps, but I don't trim mine. I know people say if you keep trimming it, as it gets longer, it gets thicker and thicker. But it all just depends whether you can grow a decent beard or not. Really, at the end of the day, it's all about genetics. I can grow a beard. My brother, on the other hand, yeah, the Forestry Commission can just turn up. They can do what they want, basically, because especially if you've got like an ancient woodland or something like that, they can just turn up. But like on my mate's forest, we've taken down a few trees, but they got dieback. They're on their way out. You know what I mean? They're big dying trees with a disease that can spread really easily to other trees. So they get knocked down and burnt, used for firewood, basically. Or I make spoons out of them. But that's what happened to this. This is, believe it or not, is the same wood as this. But if you look at this one's nice and clean, nice straight grain, really nice looking. This one looks nice, but if you look at the colour of it, that's where a fungus was growing through the tree and killing it, basically. But it makes for an awesome coloured looking spoon, you know. Yeah, the Forestry Commission can turn up whenever they want, do whatever they want. This one's died back as well, but this is just the sapwood. It's got that nice dark pattern into it. Looks really cool. But yeah, the forestry, mate, they're there's nothing stopping them coming in. But that's why you need to do like the thing with the charcoal burning and stuff like that, so you've got an excuse to be there. And at the end of the day, if you're living in something like a caravan, and it's got wheels on it, it's not a permanent structure. So technically, all you have to do is move it, and they have to go through all the shit again to try and get you to move it again and all this sort of stuff. So, but technically, what you could do is you could sell a caravan-sized piece of land to one of your mates, just a little bit of your forest, and then if they ask you to move your caravan, you can move it onto your mate's caravan-sized piece of land, and technically it's on someone else's land, so they have to go through the whole rigmarole again and all that sort of thing. So it's just there's loads of ways of getting around it. If you do your research and all that, you can get away with it. I mean, another thing is if you've been staying there a certain amount of time, you can get planning permission just because you've been there that long, you know. But it's all about, that's where like the charcoal burning comes in, because when you're burning charcoal, you need to be with it for 23 hours, depending on the size of the retort or kiln or whatever you're using. So it's an all-night job. You don't normally do it in the daytime. You normally do it as well. You start off in the day and it goes through to the night. But, I can have a word with Ian next time I see him. He does all that sort of stuff. So I can get a bit more clued up on it. It's not something that I've ever done, so I only know bits and bobs. You know, I'm not like an expert on it, but there are ways around it. At the end of the day, though, if you've got like mega money, it don't really matter. You can do whatever you want because money talks, doesn't it? At the end of the day, but it's just one of those things. But I mean, if you've got a woodland, I'd definitely make a forestry plan and get a government grant to help you out, and then use that grant to pay yourself and buy equipment and stuff like that. It does help. Well, I've been on for like an hour and 16 minutes. I'm starting to get a bit woozy because of my medication. I'm starting to fall asleep basically while I'm talking to you. So I'm going to jump off, and I'll probably be back on tomorrow if I'm feeling all right. So hopefully I am. I'm going up the woods on Thursday or Friday. I don't know which day it is. I'll put a little post up. I'll go live when I'm up the woods. If it works, sometimes the signal's pretty rubbish where I go because it's in the middle of nowhere. But I'll go live when I'm up the woods and do a walk around and stuff, and identify some trees and some mushrooms if there's any about. I doubt there'll be any mushrooms about. It's been a hard frost, but saying that, actually it has warmed up a bit, so there might be something popping up. But I'll go around and do a wee walk around the woods, and I'll take my Kelly kettle with me, maybe cook up some bacon up there and make a bacon roll and whatnot. But anyone that's been watching me, cheers for watching me. Absolutely legendary. I love chatting about stuff. Anyone's got any questions, just leave a message on my on one of my videos. If you want to see me do something, or learn about something that you think I can help you with, just leave a message for me and I'll get back to you. I'll make you your own video of the particular thing that you want me to teach you. And yeah, because I'm going to try and sort of steer away from doing too many reaction videos now. I only started doing them because I got really ill and I couldn't get out and do anything. But if I can do stuff, I'm all right. But all right, anyway, guys, cheers for watching me and all that. Enjoy yourselves and have fun and look after yourselves.